Hey, this is Notser, and we are in the Tier 8 Premium Japanese cruiser, Atago. She has 10 203mm guns, 16 torpedoes, 36 AA guns, a surface detect of 9.1 kilometer, top speed 35.5 knots, total health 40,100. For my modules, reduce crit chance on main battery, increase main battery accuracy, reduce the chance of flood and fire, faster rudder shift, concealment. For my commander, situation awareness, basic survivability, basic firing training, faster turret traverse, superintendent, demolition expert, and concealment again. We're on the map, Land of Fire, and 0.5.5 is working. This was recorded on that patch this very day. They've fixed the UI bug. European, Russian, and Asian servers are ready to go. I'm sure they've updated their post to say, we are on track to release. And that's exciting. You get weather patterns, which admittedly are only introduction, except for on north, where there's actually a storm that will reduce the visibility. I have yet to play on that map. I can't really share my thoughts on that. The intro weather is still really cool, and it will be seen in my thumbnails, because that's usually when I take a picture, is when the ship is stationary or just underway. I try to avoid spoilers in the damage that I've taken during the match. There are times that I want to share that, but most of the time, it's a fresh spawn ship, and the weather is at the beginning, so that's cool. Now, for me, I run on solid state. The game already loads pretty quickly, but for those who don't, I'm interested to hear how the patch has worked out for you. I hope it has worked better for you. I hope it loads faster. No one should have to wait 2-3 minutes into the match before you're even in play. Now, we see an enemy destroyer, and we're engaging, and here are the shells. They look gloriously beautiful, but they slam into the island, and they do absolutely nothing, and that's not good either. I spawned on the eastern side of the map. It's my preferred location on this map, so I'm all in on trying to push the flank, maybe run into an enemy destroyer, maybe take him out. You gotta be careful, though. Anytime you're around the islands, there's a threat that they will attack you. My Atago is willing and able to take on enemy destroyers, and just need them to show their ugly mugs. I have a friendly cruiser that's east of my position. He's going into the mouth. We'll see if he runs into him. I'm trying to be in position to have that crossfire. Now, I don't know if you notice, but there's a lot of angles that you can take advantage of with these islands on the eastern side of the map. I'm about half a box. I don't think the boxes represent a measurement, but if I move south just a little bit, then I have a nice clean channel where I can fire on an enemy destroyer that might ambush my friendly. But so far we haven't run into anyone. This has 4 aircraft carriers in it, so there are going to be a lot of aircraft all over the map. I need to do my best to not take a huge amount of damage. The detection on the ship is amazing. 9.1. 9.1. That is the same detection as a Soviet destroyer. Oh, there he is. The Hatsuharu. He is hiding behind an island. I have no shot. He's right up against it. It's all on the Atlanta, and I'm just like, hey, go after this dude. Take him out, and he confirms it. He knows about it. He already did 50% of his health in one salvo. The Atlanta, in a situation exactly like this, melts the target, and he did a great job. Now, can he avoid taking unnecessary damage? Please avoid taking unnecessary damage. I would love to have your assistance later on. But so far, we haven't run into anything. Absolutely nothing. Oh, we're detected. It's an enemy Fletcher. How convenient. Now we're going to try. He's going to have an island in the way to block our line of sight, but if we get 1 or 2 salvos, that's worth the time invested in. We do 1,400 points of damage. I don't really care about the module. He's probably last standing. He's not going to be in a position where he's going to be completely destroyed. But he is being scouted constantly by the friendly aircraft, and that's what CVs need to do. If you find a destroyer, you need to keep him spotted for most of the match. The only exception would be if you had fighters coming into your position where you couldn't keep him spotted. You had to protect a battleship or yourself with your fighters. There's really no other reason that's more important than taking out those destroyers rather quickly. My CV's doing a great job. He's trying to attack him. He has the benefit of the island, and the island is like a sandwich. He can't really maneuver out of the way. You're hoping that your torpedoes can get on top of him and slam him before he has a way of breaking out into the open ocean. And he's able to get away. Dive bombers, they're not going to be as successful as any aircraft carrier would like. Trust me. Trust me. So we're going to do the next best thing. We're going to use our guns. And I didn't lead him as much as I wanted to. I only get one shell that probably took out steering, but it's going to be repaired because all destroyers have fantastic damage control cooldowns. But we're doing okay. We haven't sustained any damage. That's the best kind of damage. No damage. Oh, nice. We're able to incapacitate his propulsion. We got dispersion. I chose to use my hydroacoustic because I expected this. I expected that he would send torpedoes and I get a little extra room to decide where I want to go. I think hydro gives you maybe a kilometer or two on average per torpedo. One thing that they did add in 0.5.5, which you'll learn if you haven't been on the patch yet, you can see the detection for your torpedoes. So you can plan out a strategy for your US destroyer torpedoes. They have a different detection than the Japanese. Even the Japanese themselves have different detections per each module. So it's really awesome. And the Fletcher, he felt the pressure. He didn't have a way out. He popped his smoke. And we have about 40 seconds left on hydro. I'm spotted by aircraft. So the Fletcher knows exactly where I am. And he can use that information to counter me. But the aircraft carrier pulls off. He's probably rearming and he's looking for a better opportunity. There's not really a good attack strategy against cruisers, and most aircraft carriers will assume you have defensive fire because for forever everyone did. So we might have to start trying to really test cruisers and to see what build they actually are running. I know I have to. I saw some comments, hey, you shouldn't assume that cruisers are these AA gods. And you're right, they're not anymore. I have really awful AA protection. But so far, the enemies have not tried to attack me. Now, we've been able to push all the way to the enemy base. This is again what happens on Land of Fire. If you get bogged down against the primary flank, there's no protection on the weak side. And if the enemy team or your team recognizes that, that is a huge, huge advantage over the enemy team. The friendly cruiser, there's no way the Fletcher's there. He's long gone. We are detected though, so we are at least outside of the smoke. And the Fletcher is within 9 kilometers of our ship. We haven't fired recently. You need to be aware of this at all times. It really does give you a leg up over the enemy because most players will just see situation awareness and say, okay, I'm detected, I'm not detected. And you're perfectly reasonable to think like that, but the amount of information that it gives you passively is so important to your strategy. And that Fletcher, he was trying to attack the friendly cruiser with his torpedoes. I had a quick glance and I was able to catch sight of it, so we know he doesn't have it right now. Now this Baltimore is pushing, and I would like to take him out. I used my HE. I was able to set him on fire. Most likely he's going to put it out. We slowed down, and that is another strategy that I'm trying to incorporate more often. Anytime I see a target fire at a long distance, I'm trying to abruptly change the speed of my ship. That makes a lot of ships miss their mark. And this Baltimore set up the perfect broadside, and we get 2 citadels. We do really good damage. But look what the enemy aircraft carrier is doing. He's dropping on my ship, which I'm able to avoid because my rudder shift is so great. The Fletcher can't. The Fletcher is going to die. Poor Fletcher. I didn't mean to do it. I feel so bad. We must avenge him, and I will be taking the Baltimore out. He's burning pretty good. His guns are pointed to the north, so this is a free shot, and we fire at the waterline. 7,800 points of damage feels pretty good. He probably will burn before we have a shot. Well, maybe we'll have one more. Oh, never mind. screw the Baltimore, everyone on the Fletcher. He has the audacity to show his face. So we're going to fire on his position. We lead the target. And see you later, Fletcher. I don't know why he thought I would be distracted to the point. Oh, okay, well, I know what he wanted to do. Let's just go full speed ahead. We should be able to clear the torpedoes rather easily. My guns are, of course, in the worst position. The Baltimore did eventually die. I think he died to a fire. I can't confirm it, of course. You see what I saw. So I just noticed he died, and the Atlanta is under attack. Thankfully, he has unlimited defensive fire. He should be able to protect himself pretty well from the enemy dive bombers. Now, they're American dive bombers, which means they don't lose quite as much accuracy as the Japanese counterparts. But even still, it's going to be really hard to land the kind of damage that you're expecting. And oh, another Fletcher has come to face the might of the Atago. And we try and lead him. I think I led him a little bit too much. We catch the nose, just the tip. We set it on fire, which is good. The friendly Atlanta is also assisting, and good job, Atlanta. He's never going to capture the base. That was never my intent. My intent was to sort of bait the enemy back and maximize the damage I, along with my team, could do against them. And the Atlanta is able to finish off the enemy Fletcher. They have no more destroyers. They're at a huge disadvantage now. So we could do one of two things. We could try and go after the Soviet cruiser and the aircraft carrier in the southwest side of the map. We could also assist in the destruction of the enemy stragglers that are sort of in between a rock and a hard place. I'm the hard place, right? And this enemy counterpart, Atago, is going to be under my guns. The Colorado is trying to fire. I am in a bad position. This is a compromising position for my ship. However, the Atlanta is in an even worse position. He's got 2 aircraft carriers and a cruiser, 100% focused on him. And this enemy Donskoy, he pulled a Notser. We're gonna try. Hey, no mercy, right? But since the Atlanta is so juicy, we can pull a maneuver that's compromising, dangerous even, and feel pretty confident that they're not going to pull their attention away from the Atlanta. He's just too easy to kill, right? And the nice thing about this cruiser is it can fire the torpedoes forward. So we're going to send our forward port side against this enemy cruiser that is apparently also interested in killing the Atlanta. And he's showing a ton of his sides, so we're going to switch from HE to AP. I felt like he would continue the turn. That was the intent. We did around 7k with HE, which is great. I don't think my torpedo systems will be successful. However, he has to maneuver for the torpedoes, and this is setting up a perfect shot. Yeah, see you later. 10,000 points of damage, 2 citadels, just great. And it couldn't have happened without torpedoes in the water. That's what forced him to change his positioning. I found it a lot harder to find a target that's willing to show their side against my ship. And I'm in range barely to fire on the Colorado. We unload our AP. We do 2,600 points of damage. That's not bad. HE superior in this particular situation. We're so far away. Plunging fire. We're going to hit the superstructure. We're going to do more consistent damage versus AP where we would need a deck shot. And we don't get the fire we wanted. Only 3 shells make contact. Don't want to hit the island. We hit the island in our last video. We're not going to hit it again until the next video. So, the Colorado is continuing to fire, and every time he fires, I'm going to try and angle against his shot. He's doing okay damage. It's okay. He hasn't gotten a big citadel. I would love to set him on fire, though. And are we going to be successful? No, we did not set him on fire. But notice, I'm still headed towards that Amaki. If I can get into a flanking position, have range on him. Oh no, the Nagato is taking a ton from the enemy aircraft carriers. Anytime you're a battleship, you don't want to be isolated. You need a teammate to run with. If you're too late to the party, you need to rush towards a cruiser or a destroyer. Now, someone's telling me, hey, help him. I'm helping him. I'm in range. I'm trying to make sure that we take out the targets in the right order. We can easily lose this game if we run into a hugely defensive position. That's a tier 9 and a tier 7, plus they have the backup of the aircraft carriers. So you don't want to just continue rushing in. They will have a faster attack, and they'll be able to minimize their damage taken. We're going to try and get this guy's attention, though. I switched to AP. He's perfectly broadside to my ship. However, he is maneuvering away, and I just figure, it's not going to work out. I think what would have worked better is if the battleship would have come north a little bit and not gone into the enemy's capture point. We don't need to push their point anymore. We need to push for their kills. We get these Saipans and these Lexingtons and these Colorados dead. It's a lot easier to take them out. The Amagi was taken out. I take a huge random dispersion citadel. I completely underestimate the Saipan speed. It is a very fast aircraft carrier. One of the fastest, I believe. I think it's 28, 30 knots. It's a very fast aircraft carrier. So you need to treat it sort of like a cruiser, unless you can perceive the slowdown. And we do 7,600 points of damage, and we set 2 fires. If his damage control is available, he will use it against it. And he has yet to use it. I'm just holding my fire. I don't want it to hit the island. Yeah, he did. Okay, he put it out. So this salvo might be immune if we set the target on fire. But it might not. That's how small of a window it is, and it sure enough isn't immune. We set another fire along with someone else. 2 fires. He can no longer send or recall his aircraft, and he is dead. It's just who's going to get the kill. And he's dropping really fast. This might work out in our favor. No, it's not enough. He's going to burn down. There's no way I'll be able to fire before he burns down. And yep, he dies to the friendly who had the other fire, I believe. Or it was the aircraft carrier and a dive bomber. For whatever reason, the Lexington is also here. So we're going to fire on him as well. And our first shot, only 3 shells made contact for 3,200 points of damage. Not bad. Someone sets him on fire and he puts it out. So our salvo should stick if we're successful. Oh, nice. 5,400 and a fire. And I just gotta remember, he's moving away, Notser. You need to lead away from your ship. And yeah, eventually I get it. We earn Confederate, which is good. Always good to get medals. Yeah, I didn't lead him enough. He is moving much faster than you appear to perceive. The Colorado is still at his base. The enemy cruiser, I think he's just running. He's running for the hills. There's a minute 30 left. To me, he appeared as a player that plays at their max range, whether it's good for their team or not. And he's taken very little damage. He had great angling. That's good, but it's not really going to help your team win the game because you're not taking out really important targets. And I think we're the last target to do damage. We get the kill on the enemy Lexington. The Colorado tries to fire on us, and we're going to return that favor. We just need to get within range. The range is okay. It could be better. But the detection allows for so many sneaky plays that you will underestimate a cruiser performing them. It feels great to be able to stealth torpedo in a cruiser, if you so choose. And the Colorado is slowly moving north. He realizes the end is near, and I guess I felt like he was in a Japanese battleship because I let him way too much. His AA is really strong, though. He's able to basically knock out the torpedo systems before they're able to drop in. He's set on fire. He puts it out. We land a big shot. We do not set our fire because he's still immune. I see that the friendlies are trying desperately to get the kill, but they're missing. So we try again. There is a torpedo attack. I give it one last go. I did pretty good damage against this guy, probably 15,000 over the course of the game, and we get the last shot and take out the Colorado. 10 seconds left. No way we're catching that enemy cruiser. This game was great. I was trying to go after destroyers and any target that was in between the teams. I did bail on the Atlanta and the Nagato a little bit, but I felt like that was not the correct strategy to go attacking a enemy. Oh my god! 1,300,000 credits earned. We also got Confederate 4 kills, 4 citadels. That is exactly the kind of cheddar we want to see. 2,542 base XP. We did around 131,000 points of damage. Great damage, great credit income. Take advantage of this, please. It will really set you up for the future. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.